Welcome back to another KLIM product walkthrough. I'm Lucas, and today we're going to be looking at a very exciting helmet here. This is the all-new, brand-new, ground-up, in-house, KLIM-developed GT1 Expedition Helmet. GT1 Expedition is the full name of the helmet, but I'm just going to use the name GT1 from here on out. So there's a tremendous amount of stuff to get into on this helmet. There's so much going on here. This was a 5-year-long development pretty much that we spent here in-house at KLIM. We built a wind tunnel, we built prototyping labs, we did so much work behind the scenes to build this helmet. Follow us on social media and look at all of our other social channels. You can kind of dig into the backstory behind this helmet and what it took to kind of bring this to the market to make it even happen in the first place. There's a long story going on there. We're not going to talk about that today. We're just going to talk about the details of the helmet, how these things work, which is very cool. There's a lot of cool stuff going on here. So let's just get started. First things first, on the outside, this is a hand-laid carbon fiber shell. So we use the same hand-laid pre-preg carbon fiber shell construction process on all of our carbon fiber helmets, and that means that we get a greatly reduced level of imperfections in the shell. So we use the same hand-laid pre-preg carbon fiber construction system of construction on all of our helmets, all of our carbon fiber helmets, and what that basically does is it reduces imperfections and bubbles and excess resin and pockets and all that throughout the whole shell shape, because this has to be hand laid into the mold to create this shape. So you can see how clean and tight and even all of this carbon fiber is here, and that's due to that construction process. So it's a very clean design, very sleek, and very aerodynamic. We'll talk about noise and all that a little bit later, but this is a very aerodynamic helmet. We've specifically tested this through the wind tunnel in all kinds of situations to make sure we're getting the least amount of drag and noise possible on this type of helmet. And one of the ways we did that, the team did a wonderful job designing a very unique chin bar mechanism that opens, and when it closes, you'll see it actually results in a flush closure here. So the face shield doesn't stick out and create a lip around the whole edge. And the chin bar also doesn't stick out. The whole thing is flush across all this whole plane here. That greatly reduces noise, any kind of little whistling sounds you hear. So it's very quiet. So let's get into some more details here. First things first, tool-free face shield removal. This is one of the coolest things here. So as you can see, there's a little spring-loaded keeper here that helps this face shield have its detents and move up and down. But then what you're going to do is there's these little tabs here you can push on with your thumb. You just push the face shield forward when it's open, and there it goes. It just pops right out. So tool-free face shield removal. It's also self-indexing basically, so it's self-aligning. You never have to adjust the position of everything and make everything lined up so the gaskets seal up correctly. Everything keeps itself in the right place. So we really like that. Here you can also see some of that mechanism a little bit more closely. You can also see the gasket around the edge here. That's going to keep things quiet, keep the moisture sealed out, keep the wind sealed out. And then you're also going to see that chin bar mechanism, how it can move up and down. Let's look at that right now. There's a red button here in the front. Oops. You pull that, and that will unlock the mechanism and let it roll up. So now you might be able to see how it pulls forward before it pops back in. So you can see right here how this metal piece here actually moves away from the helmet, moves forward as it hinges, and then it moves back into place. Okay, so that's that mechanism I was talking about, where the team was able to design a hinge, a proprietary hinge. Nobody else has this. Lets the chin bar and the face shield move out and up, and then out, and then back into place. So we get really, really improved aerodynamics by doing that. So let's put this all back together. Very easy. Again, you just drop it into place here. In the up position, there's 2 points where you can align everything up, and then you just push it together just like that. Now it's ready to go. Super easy. Couldn't be easier. Tool-free. Do this with gloves on. Very easy. And if you want to swap between the clear shield and the photochromic shield that it comes with, it's obviously super, super easy to do that. Now, let's talk about some more things on the outside of the shell before we move to the inside. Ventilation. We want to keep this helmet very comfortable. We want to reduce heat as much as possible. There's a few things going on here that contribute to that heat reduction. One, obviously, is vents. Big one here on the top. It's going to scoop that air coming off the front of the helmet right into that big intake and flow it throughout the rest of the helmet and out the exhaust vents out the back. Same thing here, chin vent. It's a little bit different from the X1 helmet. If you guys are looking at adventure helmets, check out our new X1 Alpha adventure helmet. This has a very similar looking chin vent structure, but they're a little bit different in reality. This one is ratcheting, so you just click it closed and click the same button open, just like that, because this helmet's not really going to be in the dirt like the adventure helmet is going to be. So we can get away with using a little bit more intricate mechanism like this. So the bottom vent pulls air into the helmet, okay? the top vent actually pushes air into this diffuser. So that top vent pushes air directly into this diffuser right here. And that's going to push air straight up into the face shield like a defogger, basically. So this is a wonderful defogging mechanism here. Of course, these will also come with pin lock shields. So pin lock plus anti-fog coatings plus this chin bar vent system here, that defogger vent system. It really shouldn't give you any problems with fogging. This is a very, very well ventilated helmet when you want them to breathe, when you want those vents to breathe, but then you can always close them down and seal everything up if it gets cold. And then of course on the back there's those 4 exhaust vents where that warm air is going to move through and exit from the helmet in that low pressure area in the back. It's going to kind of suck the air through the helmet very well. Now before we go to the inside of the helmet, let's talk really quick about that chin bar mechanism. This is a dual-sided locking mechanism with steel posts here, so it's very secure. And then I don't know if you can see that, but then there's like a metallic latch on the inside, a metal, not metallic, it is metal. It's a metal latch on the inside there that locks down onto those posts, and it's very sturdy, of course. And then of course the chin bar is, I should have mentioned this earlier, but the chin bar is carbon fiber, same as the rest of the helmet. Other thing that's on the chin bar is this elastic part of the chin skirt. So getting this over your face, over your nose, we want to seal up this area here because that really reduces noise when you can seal up the area around the base of the head very well. But then to get it over your nose, we put in this little elastic gasket here. So it's very easy to get this over your nose, it's very comfortable, and then once it's there, it's all sealed up quite well. And then as you can see here, we've got a mixture of suede finish here. It's very nice, very luxurious feeling. And then also a actually moisture wicking, as we're using a burr cooling technology material here, so that's going to keep you cooler and keep you more comfortable than a typical just regular synthetic fabric. This is also antimicrobial. So now let's dive into the nitty-gritty on the inside of the helmet here. It may be a little hard to see, so I'm going to peel that crown liner back actually. Now that I've peeled this crown liner back a little bit, you can see where those vents, those holes, those cutouts in the crown liner actually line up perfectly with this channeled EPS inside the helmet. And we did a really unique thing with this EPS construction here is we have this channeled EPS here against your head to let that airflow move through it. And then we have KOROYD, which are those green straw-like structures that flow a tremendous amount of air through them. They actually do a really good job of absorbing large impacts. They don't rebound after they're impacted like foam, like EPS does. So we really like using that technology throughout the helmet, coupled with EPS. We get a really good impact absorbing situation there, really good impact absorbing stack of materials when we do this. And then what we actually do is we have the KOROYD in the middle and then we have EPS on the outside. So you basically have shell of the helmet, EPS, and then KOROYD, and then more EPS against your head. So the EPS is insulating against the heat that might come from the sun, and then the KOROYD flows a bunch of air through the KOROYD, obviously, let those vents really pull that air through, and then of course you have EPS against your head because that's more comfortable. And then of course the crown liner. And while we're here talking about the liners and the EPS and everything, we have 5 different EPS liner sizes fitting into 5 different shells. So most common riders have a size large head, so we actually built a size large specific helmet. It has its own size large shell, EPS and everything, and then size medium and smaller is another shell, size extra large and up is another shell. So for those of you in the middle of that bell curve, size large, you're lucky you get the most optimized helmet shell size for you. So you're not wearing like a too large shell crammed into a thick EPS with thick comfort liner. Everything is perfectly optimized for that middle of that bell curve. Now let's talk about something really special here, which we're going back to the outside. We're talking about optics here. We did something very special with this face shield here. This has a lot of stuff going on here in terms of vision. Class 1 optical clarity that is maintained when you also put in the pin lock. So you're looking through 2 panes, you're looking through the face shield and the pin lock, and you're maintaining that optical class 1 clarity. And you're having HD vision is what it's called, built into this helmet or into this face shield. So what that means is basically when photons of light go through a surface, they can get, especially a curved one, they can get refracted a little bit. They can get pointed in a different direction. So by the time it gets to your eye, you're not actually seeing perfectly clearly what the world is around you. So with this HD technology in this lens, it's also in some sunglasses in the world, but what it does is basically it keeps that light going as close to reality as possible as it passes through the lens, as it passes through the face shield. So that means when you're seeing things, you're seeing them as close to real life as possible. It's going to reduce fatigue, help you see better, reduce eye fatigue over the course of a long day. Another one of those things to help keep you from getting tired is heat management. I talked about that KOROYD and EPS structure, how that really efficiently moves air through the helmet, keeps you away, keeps you protected from that hot shell in the sun, keeps the air flowing through with the vents. We're doing a lot of stuff to reduce that fatigue, reduce the riding tiredness, reduce that exhaustion that might lead to crashing. Because we have two different approaches to safety here. One is keep you comfortable so you don't crash in the first place, and then if you do crash, keep you safe in that event of an accident. So we're really trying to keep you from crashing here in the first place because we don't want that to happen at all. So we're doing a lot of stuff regarding safety, let's call it active safety in the first place, to keep you from crashing. So there you go. That's a quick summary on the all-new GT1 Expedition helmet here. If you guys have any questions, please hit us up in the comments. Find us on all the social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, wherever it is, we're there. Find us on there, hang out with us, hit us up in the comments if you guys have any questions. Like I said, that's all for now. Thanks for watching.